The following is an AI-based parody created for satire and entertainment purposes. All voices, conversations, and scenarios are artificially generated and do not represent the opinions, actions, or voices of any individuals represented. This content is not meant to confuse or misinform.
The time for me to show you what the Vanguard class is all about begins now.
Boy, I can't wait to finally see this.
If there is a God, and if he loves me, you'll fall flat on your face this episode.
Wait, do my ears deceive me, or do I hear the old Normandy song?
You sure do.
Now, it really is just like the old Normandy.
Even modding and little things like this go a long way to bringing back that old Mass Effect atmosphere.
If Thessia was lost and Earth hadn't been touched yet, you can be damn sure we'd be guarding our own borders.
That's a little bit of foreshadowing there.
I'm sure if Thessia were attacked first, the Council would have found a way to rope Shepard into it one way or another.
The Council's BS aside, we gotta make the rounds on the Normandy.
If I had things my way, we'd get straight into the combat. But I know I need to placate Barack's obsession with the dialogue.
Wait, it's Edie's hologram.
It was always a little odd that this vanished for no reason.
You could assume Edie's holograms got removed during the retrofits, though I'm not sure why they would do that when the Alliance crew believed she was just a virtual intelligence.
The voice lines are appreciated, but I know that one came from the Collector Vessel mission in 2.
Modders got to make do with what they've got.
You'd probably have to ask a people person.
Well, Shepard may as well be the people person on the ship. The way we help everyone solve lifelong trauma.
Lacking of any number of productively suspect humans, Shepard.
Oh shit, starting the AI is already talking about stealing our jobs.
Well, you're the one who's gotten all buddy-buddy with Elon Musk. Tell him to knock it off with the Tesla bot nonsense.
Hold on now, buddy-buddy's a bit much. The deal is entirely professional. And it's starting to work my nerves a little, if I'm being honest.
I told you dealing with that guy was going to be a headache and a half.
But after years of ignoring your warnings, they're finally willing to step up and tell you they just can't help.
Speaking of a headache and a half, we have the Citadel Council.
They've spent years denying the threat. You think they'd be prepared now?
I was kind of hoping that maybe they were planning in secret and just not telling you about it because, you know, Cerberus.
Even I'm not that optimistic, Joker.
Get them on the channel and then hang up on them.
Yes, hanging up on the Council. Now those were good times.
Joker says that line regardless of whether you've hung up on the Council, though.
That's true, it's a bit of an oversight. But you can disable that bit of dialogue using the Expanded Galaxy mod.
Well, rather than an oversight, I choose to believe hanging up on the Council at least once is canon.
There's your errand for the episode, Donald.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to... Oh God, it's this guy.
Do we pay this guy to just walk around the CIC or something?
Anderson is on Earth dodging Reaper lasers, while this motherfucker paces around the Normandy all leisurely.
Bro is just pretending to be busy. Betty thought we wouldn't notice.
Well, on the off chance that the Normandy is above weight capacity, we know who we're throwing out first.
See how you were doing.
In other news, time to talk to our new secretary.
Instead of a psychologist, we have a... Wait, what exactly is Samantha supposed to be?
She's a communications specialist. She manages communications for us. Though that's an understatement, she definitely overperforms her role, which we'll see as the game continues on.
Oh, it's no trouble, Commander.
Nice of you to say the trainer. Everyone else on this damn ship loves to throw their problems at us.
My toothbrush is a Cision Pro Mark IV.
6,000 credits is insane. Actually, I don't have a frame of reference. Is that a lot?
Well, the base price for the M96 Maddock is 7,000 credits.
Okay.
So Sam's toothbrush is almost as much as one of the best guns in the trilogy.
Didn't someone establish that one credit is worth 16 cents or something? Are you telling me your goddamn toothbrush is $960?
For $960, the toothbrush better guarantee I never set foot in a dentist's office ever again.
I suppose that's the price of Mass Effect fields.
Mass Effect fields, used to achieve faster than light speed travel, create singularities in space-time, and apparently are a part of good dental hygiene.
To be perfectly honest, trying to make sense of the Mass Effect economy and what the value of a credit is an exercise in frustration.
Though I studied on Earth at Oxford.
I guess that explains the accent.
You know Admiral Anderson is also from London? He lacks an accent due to his multicultural lifestyle.
If I recall correctly, you grew up on Mindwar.
We don't like to talk about Mindwar, Sam.
Poor Talitha, she was probably on the path to recovery and now has to deal with the Reaper invasion.
With luck, Talitha just remained on the Citadel to get the help she needs. If that's the case, she's probably fine at the moment.
I needed that bit of hopium today, thanks Obama.
Would make communication easy, but imagine incorporating multiple incoming sources and then networking them with extrapolations of time-lag data to construct a coherent situation GUI. It's an exciting challenge.
While she's a nerd, I'm sure she and Tali will get along well.
I like Samantha. She's a good egg.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, Donald. I'd think you'd have a problem with Sam replacing Kelly.
What makes you say that?
They replaced a white woman with a black one who's also gay. I expected you to call Samantha A-D-E-I hire or something.
Okay, first of all, Kelly swung both ways, so Samantha being into women wouldn't matter. Second of all, I've been hanging out with Barack for years now.
Oh, am I your, quote, black friend?
I already called dibs, Donald.
Calling dibs on me is crazy work.
Carry on, Specialist.
This dude is still walking around.
Well, at least he's getting his steps in.
We really got to talk to Edie about this productively suspect human.
Commander?
It's time for the annual checkup with the doctor.
Did you guys know Chakwas' last name is an anagram for hacksaw?
No, I didn't, and I'm willing to bet I could have gone my whole life without knowing that, too.
Listen, not every fun fact can be fun. Some of them are going to be basic.
Let's waste no time. If I may, I'd like to examine you.
I already had my checkup for the year, Doc.
Yeah, I imagine they checked you over that time you got shot.
Which one? He got shot at twice.
I only got hit in the first one,
Expensive stuff.
and the both of you.
Well, worst case scenario, we would have just done a modern-day Project Lazarus.
Then you would have gotten the scars you like so much.
Speaking of which, we're still missing our scars.
Just no scalpel this time, Doc.
Alas, to my great disappointment, it is nothing invasive.
Yeah, the doctor says that, and then they stick a finger up your ass.
Thank you for that one, Joe.
Take a few readings. Your system is still detecting the implants as foreign bodies. There's no health risk, but your scars are having...
Then where the hell are they? I want my
recommend
glowing
reducing
eyes
stress
back.
levels. Be compassionate.
Can't expect a whole lot of compassion coming out of us when Donald is
I'm
playing.
just saying, a little more optimism and a little less realism could help, Commander.
In any other circumstance, I'd agree with you, Doctor. Unfortunately, though, the death toll on Earth is going up by the hundreds literally every minute.
Not to mention the council being total dickheads and Cerberus doing their thing.
The medbay was fully stocked before you left Earth. We should be good for a long time, even given the amount of fire you take each day.
Well, playing Vanguard, you better
ever
be ready,
regret
Doc,
working for
because I'm
Cerberus?
diving in on the first enemy I
We didn't
see.
work for them. We used them. If I were to feel anything, it would be guilt. We took their money, took their best people, took their best ship.
Finally, someone else who sees how
We
badly
used
we
them
cooked
to defeat
Cerberus.
the
The idea that
collectors, and
Shepard
now
could be a
we are
traitor
using
to the
their
Alliance was
resources
always
against them.
insane, but us hand-delivering ourselves in a new Normandy should have
No,
squashed any
I
doubts.
don't regret it one bit.
Jack was proving once
You've
again
never
that she's
mentioned
the
any
most
of their
based
family.
NPC character.
None to speak of, really. I'm the last of a prestigious line of medical
Damn,
professionals.
she's lucky. She doesn't have to worry about her loved ones in the Reaper War, because they're all already dead.
How old is she for her entire family to all already be dead?
I've imagined that Dr. Chakwas is older than Hacken, who is 52 in Mass Effect 3. Given the fact that she has a full head of gray hair and talks about the Alliance being her children.
What's this?
They just don't make them like this anymore, Shepard.
That's a playlist, so you can change the ambient music on the Normandy to something else.
Hold on, now you're speaking my language.
Let's play some tunes.
Wait, this is sick. There's more music, right?
Yeah, they're littered about the game.
I'm seeing some bangers in there.
Well, this is going to be fun to listen to as the game goes on.
You can thank the Expanded Galaxy mod for this one.
I can see Liara wasted no time taking over Miranda's old room.
I gotta wonder when she found the time to do this. The Normandy was undergoing retrofits that weren't completed. So does that mean they were preparing the Normandy with Liara in mind? Or did she seriously revamp this entire room between joining us on Mars and now?
Oh God, it's this thing.
There's only room for one drone on the
You're the
Normandy,
drone from
and
the
it's
Shadow
Chotika,
Broker
Tali's bot.
Dr. Tassoni now refers to me as Glyph instead of Info Drone 95% of the time.
I'm just going to keep calling it Info Drone.
By the way, is Glyph a virtual or artificial intelligence?
It's a VI, though Glyph does display behavior that leads me to think it's also an AI.
It does seem more advanced than Avina.
Any useful data, I can research upgrades for you.
Wouldn't it be hotter than hell inside this room with all this equipment?
Probably those are some huge servers she's got over there, and I'm not seeing any ventilation.
Forget the lack of ventilation. How the hell isn't she going blind with all those big-ass bright screens?
Maybe blue light doesn't have the same effect on Asari. Maybe their eyes have anti-glare.
I guess killing the last council didn't do anything to make them more cooperative after all.
I didn't kill them with a more cooperative council in mind. I did it out of spite.
Well, at least you're honest.
Comfort that is while they bicker over which portion of the galaxy to save.
Becoming the big info brokers turned you into a real cynic, Liara.
Isn't it kind of bad that Joker knows she's the shadow broker? That dude couldn't keep his mouth shut if his life counted on it.
I think we should be worried about all the random Normandy crew who
Looks like you brought
definitely
more than
know
just that drone
and are talking about it when they're in purgatory.
Well, it's not like anyone is in a position to do anything about it. Plus, Liara is more than capable of taking care of herself these days.
You know, in hindsight, it makes sense Miranda didn't join us. She and Liara would have had to fight over this room.
We could have just had Miranda sleep with us in the captain's cabin.
Am I the only one here who remembers we're with Tali?
All right, relax, Joe. It's not that serious.
I'm just saying we beat on Jacob for cheating on female shepherd. It would be kind of fucked up to do the same thing to Tali.
It's fine. We had our fun sleeping around with the consort and Jack. It's time to settle down.
It'd be nice to know we're not kids playing around with a loaded gun.
Absolutely. The damage it could cause if it backfired is unthinkable.
Yeah, just have a look at the low EMS destroy ending to see how bad things can get.
If we'd had a little more time, maybe Earth wouldn't.
Or maybe things would have been fine if they hadn't locked us up for the completely victimless crime of blowing up the Alpha relay.
Well, that's not entirely honest, Donald. There were 90,000 slaves on Aratoic. That's a bunch of Talifus.
Okay, when you put it like that, I do feel kind of bad about it.
It's fine. Those people would have been trapped there their entire lives, undergoing the worst kind of torture. Death is a mercy in Nazareth.
How much do you know about this Prothean artifact?
Very little. We're fortunate enough Data survived to piece together.
Man, we would have been cooked if that robot had escaped.
I hope we're leveraging the Reaper based on shackled AI on this ship to decode everything.
I'd have killed for a glimpse of it during graduate school.
You know, when people say they would have killed for something they want, it's usually taken as a joke. But given where Liara is these days and her obsession with Prothean information, I'm pretty sure she's telling the truth.
Although I'm lucky Edie let Glyph on board after it tried to rewrite her scheduled tasks.
Little bro is lucky Edie didn't delete him from existence.
The info drone thinking it knows better than Edie is crazy.
Yes, that's precisely why you're confined to the cabin.
What's been happening with you as the broker, Liara?
It's been exciting. The old broker's ship, impressive, but it was never meant to be space-worthy. Which meant the elusive man eventually tracked me down on Hagalaz.
I don't think he really had to track you down, Liara. We went to Hagalaz on the Normandy while we were still working with Cerberus. He definitely had some travel logs or something indicating where the shadow broker would be hiding.
You know, Miranda definitely relayed that.
Kind of distraction.
Sending the broker's ship exploding into a Cerberus cruiser.
Atta girl. Now that's my kind of distraction.
Man expected me to give up my resources in such a spectacular fashion.
Can you still operate as the broker without the ship?
Well, I couldn't let the elusive man have it.
You know, I wonder if Liara could have survived the Reaper invasion if she just stayed on the Shadow Broker's ship on Hagalaz. The planet is inhabitable, so the Reapers have no reason to go there, so supposing no one leaked the information, she might have been fine.
The Reapers would have probably gotten a hold of one of her agents and gotten the information when they were indoctrinated.
That's why you gotta order them to bite a cyanide pill when captured.
That's pretty dark of you to suggest.
The old broker was probably already making them do something like that anyway.
What have you been up to since we last saw each other?
Since you helped me defeat the Shadow Broker, I started looking for defenses against the Reapers.
I'm glad at least someone was out there taking the Reaper threat seriously.
Liara, once again, proving how much of an MVP she is for the Reaper War.
I knew the elusive man was hunting for the same thing when our agents began crossing paths.
Like on Mars?
I thought I'd covered my tracks, but he had surveillance there all along.
To be fair, that's kind of on the Alliance.
We'll talk later, Liara.
Of course.
How's your new assignment working out, Allers?
Damn, I love this outfit on Diana. Is she romanceable? I might need to give it a shot on my private run.
Well, she is, but it's really not worth it. She's not really a committed partner. There is no romance scene or post-romance dialogues. You also don't get the Paramour achievement for it.
Okay, well, that sucks.
Though one interesting thing is that if you become involved with Diana, while also pursuing Liara, the latter will announce that she knows about your affair and doesn't appreciate you playing games.
Damn, she can really clock us for that?
I mean, it makes sense. You're playing around with the head of the galaxy's biggest information network, of course she found out.
Makes me wonder how much dirt Liara has on Shepard.
Probably way more than we'd like to admit.
She did say she could start a war with all the information she has.
Earth and the galaxy. I wouldn't have to torque it much.
Hold on, is that Thane on Diana's billboard back there?
If she's tracking Thane, she might want to go ahead and stop. Sick or not, he'd fold her.
I'll keep biting.
Who is this supposed to be again? I'm drawing a blank.
This time it's not your memory. I don't remember him either.
That's Chief Engineer Adams. He served on the first Normandy with us.
Oh, right. We didn't exactly talk to him, I guess.
Did we miss anything important?
Not really, though I should point out that Adams was handpicked by Anderson to serve on the Normandy SR-1, likely because of his experience having served on every class of Alliance starships. One of his previous assignments was on the SSV Tokyo, a good ship, but one Adams considers inferior to the Normandy. He was also good friends with Navigator Presley, offers condolences when Jenkins dies, and he approves of Tali being in engineering.
I refused. I didn't have your back, and I'm sorry for that.
Well, in hindsight, not joining us in 2 was a decision that aged fairly well. He got to avoid the trauma of being abducted by the collectors.
And I certainly didn't trust Cerberus.
Once again, considering the existence of the clone, these doubts are vindicated.
You know?
All is forgiven Adams, after all. The elusive man is turning his people into Reaper abominations now.
Thank you, Commander. Glad to be aboard.
I suppose we should make up for ignoring him the entirety of the first game.
Adams is technically one of the OGs after all.
We had a good talk during the retrofit. A little strange at first, talking shop with an AI.
AI? I thought Edie posed as a VI to keep the likes of you from unplugging her.
Is unplugging Edie even an option?
There's probably a switch or something somewhere.
I don't even know how that would work, since she's unshackled. Edie basically is the Normandy.
We can save that discussion for when Adams and Kenneth argue about it later.
You never expressed any skepticism, Lieutenant Adams.
Bro, I forgot Edie can just see and hear anywhere in the ship.
With the Cerberus AI, Edie. No offense.
Well, he's awful accepting of an AI.
Makes sense. Adams was one of the few named human crewmates on the first Normandy to have no issue with aliens.
In the beginning, I tried disconnecting her from key processes without giving myself away. Easier said than done.
Bro, chill. You know she could space everyone on the ship whenever.
In time, I saw her advantages. Even grew to like her.
Be careful. Don't like her too much. Joker will get jealous.
Does the new Normandy stack up to the old SR-1?
Stack up. It blows the old ship away.
Well, yeah, the old ship got fucking fried by the collector vessel, while the SR-2 cooked the vessel with the Fenix cannon.
The new drive core is 3 times bigger. This ship can fly. That said, Cerberus isn't too high on safety. If pushed past her limits, this core would vent into engineering.
Damn, the elusive man really said that the engineers are totally expendable.
Yeah, this alludes to what happens if you don't upgrade the shielding in 2 and 1 of your squad gets reduced to ash.
I noticed you upgraded the kinetic barriers with cyclonic technology. Should help reduce the draw when under missile fire.
Yeah, unlike the elusive man, we'd prefer if the people who make sure the ship actually runs smoothly don't die because we take a little too much fire.
It can handle a higher blue shift of our emissions.
And that means...
I like how Shepard doesn't know anything about the ship.
The dialogue there would be kind of out of place if your Shepard is an engineer. They should be capable of talking shop with Adams perfectly fine.
I wish there were more class-based interactions in this game.
Is your family okay?
My parents are serving on Viridian Zenith, an Alliance agricultural vessel. My sister is a navigator on the SSV Benjamin Davis. Happy to report that both vessels are safely under Hackett's command.
They gave all of the luck to the least prominent crew member.
I'll take some good news where we can get it. Everyone else is dying.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, sir.
All right, time for the second to last stop on this tour of the Normandy.
I guess Cortez replaced that guy who sold us supplies in Mass Effect 1.
You mean the unnamed requisition officer who used to sit by the Mako? Don't really know what happened to him. Presumably, he's one of the names on the Normandy's memorial wall.
So you do care, Mr. Vega? Or is that the Cerveza talking again?
These boys be down here flirting all the time.
Just a couple of bros down in the armory.
Cortez and James do have a bit of history.
I fucking knew it.
No, not that, Joe. I mean, they've worked together before. They apparently worked on missions prior to James's stint on Fel Prime. They conversated often between missions.
So they both work down here, but what does James even do?
You know, besides do a comedic amount of pull-ups.
Truthfully, James kind of just loiters around down here. I'm pretty sure Cortez does most of the work.
Looks like we have another productively suspect human, and this one is a big one. Let's throw him out the airlock.
Oh, when I want Kane to die, I'm an asshole, but when you say the same thing about James, is all cool.
To be fair, James might loiter around down in the shuttle bay shooting the shit with Cortez, but at least he's out in the field with us from time to time. Better than we can say about that dude pacing around in the CIC.
To save the day, pendejo.
I'm also responsible for logistics, making sure the armory and shuttle are properly stocked and maintained.
Do you maintain this armory?
He just explained that to us.
I share that duty with our illustrious Mr. Vega. Though I believe the only weapon he really cares to maintain is himself.
Yep, there he goes with the damn pull-ups.
The first retrofit we did was to move the armory down from Deck 2. I'm not sure what Cerberus engineers were thinking.
You know, looking back, the armory being up on Deck 2 made no goddamn sense.
The Normandy SR-2, while a very impressive ship, has a whole lot of wasted space and is probably pretty poorly designed for a military ship. We don't even use the life support room on Deck 3 for anything.
That's a corporate ship for you. The elusive man cared more about looks, which would explain those bright-ass lights.
I don't know, I think I'd prefer the Mass Effect 2 version of the ship. It looks cleaner.
The mess of the Normandy in 3 is deliberate probably to fit the chaos of the Reaper War. But I can see how you might like the more slick and put-together design in 2.
But my skill set made me more valuable commanding a flight deck. They assigned me to the Normandy retrofit team about 5 months ago to oversee all cargo bay modifications.
What happened to the M44 Hammerhead?
And who cares where that piece of trash went?
I take it you're not a fan of the Hammerhead.
I'm the one who had to do the Overlord DLC, and driving that thing sucked.
Just be glad we didn't make you do the Firewalker
Lab
DLC.
engineers are trying to improve that. After the Reaper invasion, those labs are probably just a pile of rubble.
Good, a scrapyard is exactly where the M44 Hammerhead belongs. It is literally the M3 Predator of the vehicles in Mass Effect.
Goddamn, you went for the throat with that one.
Well, good news, we can get the M44 Hammerhead back with the expanded Galaxy mod.
Okay, but why though?
I agree, the Kodiak is a far superior vehicle.
She flies like a brick, so that's why you need.
All right, what's the likelihood this family dialogue is going to be depressing?
I'm pretty sure it's a guarantee at this point. Adams already broke the
We're
trend.
stationed on Earth. Do you have family there?
I'm an only child. Lost my parents years ago.
Okay, off to a good
I
start.
had a husband back when I was stationed at Ferris Fields.
Damn.
Going from Adams talking about how everyone he cares about being alive to Cortez talking about how everyone he cares about being dead is crazy.
Keep up the hard work, but don't kill yourself.
Jesus Christ, Shepard, what a thing to say after he talks about his dead family.
To be fair, Cortez did probably need to hear that given his mindset.
All right, enough sappy talk. It's time for our boxing match with James.
You guys think James is natural?
Probably not.
He might be. It looks like he takes after his mom's side of the family. James's uncle Emilio has the same build, so it's probably genetics.
Shepard. How'd it go with the council?
We told you how it went with the council last episode.
Same as usual. Non-committal. Unhelpful.
Bet they still wanted you to help them out, no?
James, we're your commanding officer. A little bit of respect is due.
Don't worry, he'll respect us after we kick his ass.
Sounds like fun. Never been to the Turian homeworld.
And you never will be, because unfortunately the mission doesn't take place on Palaven.
Down here for a reason?
You see, we like to get into everyone's business around here.
The only secret on the Normandy is how Scale Itch got onto it that one time.
Yeah, that one is weird. Scale itch is sexually transmitted.
That's not a secret. Everyone knows Kelly is responsible.
These implications are unpleasant.
I guess it's a good thing we didn't do anything with Kelly and 2.
With any luck, Morden was able to track down the Scale itch carrier and cured it before the crew went its separate ways.
If not, then Kelly is spreading it all throughout the refugee camp.
Forgot about that.
Bro, you were our guard. How did you forget that?
Think you can dance and talk at the same time?
Oh, I'll never turn down a free fade. I hope you're
Yes,
ready,
I
James.
can, Lieutenant.
You pulling rank on me, boss? We're just soldiers down here, no?
Now we're a soldier. You're just a grunt who lucked himself onto the ship.
The floor with you if you step out of line.
Gotta say, this scene was kind of random the first time playing.
The Turians fight for sport on their ships. Why shouldn't the humans get in on it too?
And who was that?
Captain Tony. He was a hard-ass son of a bitch, but a good leader.
Keep your hands up, Vega.
Nice.
Captain Tony appears in Paragon Lost. He dies when the ship carrying all the colonists the Collectors tried to abduct crashes into Fel Prime.
Paragon Lost has a lot of flaws and conflicts with the continuity, but it's a decent movie. And I don't even like James like that.
If nothing else, it had some decent fight scenes.
It was either them or the intel we had on the Collectors. Intel we could have used to destroy them. I chose the intel.
Remember when I said James could fight Shepard man-to-man? I take that back.
Huge muscles don't do much when you're too slow to hit your target.
The best part was, we didn't really need the intel in the end. Because you were out saving the galaxy by taking down the entire Collector homeworld.
Are we supposed to apologize for that?
No, but I do understand why James is upset.
You didn't know.
He had to let all the colonists and Captain Tony die in a burning inferno for intelligence that wound up being unnecessary. There was a colonist named April who James formed a brotherly bond with during his time on Fel Prime. She and her mother were among the deaths. That on top of everyone else in his unit, besides one other guy getting slaughtered by the Collectors, has probably left him feeling pretty guilty.
The boxing match is just Vega venting and getting whipped for it.
I'm just willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to end this goddamn war.
You won't win the war if you let yourself get folded this badly.
If you're half as good as I think you are, we need you alive.
Well, I mean, we don't have a Krogan to replace him with, so he'll do.
If we could have solved everyone else's problems by kicking their ass, Mass Effect 2 would have ended a lot sooner.
Thanks for the dance, Loco.
Here, this guy goes with the damn nicknames.
I'm surprised, Donald.
I don't really mind it. Besides, I think Loco fits.
I can think of worse things to call you.
Go on, James, I want to hear it.
Who's in charge? You can call me whatever you want.
Oh, I won't forget. Hey again.
One last conversation.
About damn time my trigger finger is starting to
You mentioned
itch.
a mission you had against the collectors. What happened?
Everything that could go wrong did go wrong,
Things
to
went
put
full
things
bore.
simply.
I was one of the few to make it out. If you want the rest of the story, you're gonna have to get me really drunk, or
what?
That's about it. Sorry, Commander. Just not interested in talking about that.
I guess that's the
Next
game
topic.
telling you to go watch Paragon Lost.
You had a hard time leaving Earth. You still want to head back?
Hell yeah.
It feels
But
kind
I
of
get it.
awkward talking to James
not
while
where
he's
I'd be
still
most
got a
useful.
bloody nose from the ass beating
get
we
it.
gave him.
Clean yourself
We'll get
up a
back.
little, Vega.
I know. And I'll do whatever it takes to get us there, Commander.
Maybe no more shuttle crashes.
At least not
No
until we
promises
can get a
now that
second
I've gotten
one.
the taste for it. Besides, I like to keep Esteban on his toes.
I guess this is why Cortez flies us everywhere from now
You got
on.
family back on Earth?
Yeah, an uncle, retired military. Got a few cousins I haven't heard from in a while.
You and your uncle close?
Yep. He was the reason I joined the Marines and was about the only good thing in my life.
Here comes another sob story.
And as
No, Dad.
usual, it involves
He's
another
there.
terrible father.
Somewhere.
Thankfully, we
But
don't
I'm
have
not
to
sure
help
I'd call it
James
family.
with this.
Not a-
James rightfully has
I would like to
issues
find
with
out
his
how my
dad,
life
Josh Sanders. When Emilio talked James into
you and
joining the
Nick-
Alliance to turn his troubled
just my
life
way of
around,
remembering people.
Josh threatens to
Some
tell
people
the
just don't match
military
their
about
names,
James
you know?
previously
So,
buying
that
red
doesn't
sand
give
for
him a
him.
name.
Thankfully,
So, I'm a
Emilio
local.
pointed out that would require Josh to admit to his
Yeah.
own part in the drug
I mean,
deal.
Well,
I'm
I won't
pretty
be
crazy,
wasting any
but the
tears
shit
if
you've
Josh
done
Sanders got blasted by a
makes me
laser.
look safe.
I swear, between Jacob, Tally, Coley, and now James, it's like everyone
take
has
it
a
you
mom
and
who
Lieutenant
died
Cortez
and a
know
dad
each
who's either absent or a piece of shit.
Once again, not Garrus, though.
And in fairness, Liara had a decent
with him
relationship
on
with
Earth a few months
Venezia
back.
before she got
He's a good guy.
indoctrinated. Her father
Just
was
don't tell
absent,
him I
though.
said so. It'd go to his head.
I'll talk to you later.
You bet.
All right, Donald, to thank you for your diligence in talking to the team, I want you to go look behind the weapon mod table real quick.
What, you mean over there?
Yep, there's a present for you.
What is that?
Why don't you have a look inside?
Yo, what the f?
Where did all of these come from?
Wait, hold on a second. The motherfucking Claymore is here.
The weapon storage chest comes courtesy of the expanded Galaxy mod. It imports all your weapons from Mass Effect 2.
This is so sick, I was afraid I'd have to wait until my next episode.
This might make Grissom Academy doable for me.
You know, it didn't make sense that our hard-earned weapons went missing between 2 and 3.
I always assumed Kasumi stole and sold them or something.
It was weird that our levels carried over to 3 and not our weapons. Also, thanks to the mod, it's possible to level your weapons up to level 10 without going into New Game Plus.
I always forget Mass Effect has a new Game Plus mode.
Well, yeah, if you're starting a new game, you're probably starting fresh from the first game.
Look at these beautiful ass guns and my beloved Claymore.
Another W for the modders.
Now it's time for the combat.
Commander, I've got a hail from Admiral Hackett.
It really is just like old times. Now we're getting
Put 'em
side
through,
missions
Lieutenant.
from Admiral Hackett again.
Not that I'm not excited to finally get to use the Claymore, but how important are these missions really?
Well, they contribute to your military score. Individually, they aren't worth
other
much,
intel?
but they do add up to a lot. This specific mission contributes 50 points. We'll be collecting some data that includes reports on the composition and strengths of various Reaper
We're on it.
units. This will allow Alliance military VIs to come up with strategies to use against the Reaper's ground forces.
Plus, we get paid for every one of these.
That means nothing to me. I've already got the only gun I need.
Donald, I really don't think going into missions with just the Claymore is a good idea, especially not this early in the game.
Don't need the back seating. I know what I'm doing.
All right, if you say so, this will be interesting.
Okay, God, I know you're looking out for me here. I need you to cook him.
Literally praying for Donald's downfall is crazy, but I'm kind of hoping for it too.
It didn't work when people wanted me to lose the presidential race, and it won't happen here either.
Well, while we wait to see how things play out, here's some little fun facts about this mission. Much like a lot of these N7 missions, this one takes place on one of the multiplayer maps. This one is called Firebase Glacier. Oddly, the description for Firebase Glacier claims it exists on Karshawn, the Batarian homeworld. However, it is actually located on Sanctum.
Goddamn, it's good to be back.
Good you know the quick reload trick, Donald. Maybe you can make the Claymore work.
Of course I know the quick reload. What kind of amateur do you take me for?
You're right, my bad.
At the risk of exposing myself as a quote amateur, what quick reload?
Let me take this explanation, Barack.
Go off, you got it.
All right, listen up, Marines. In Mass Effect 3, there's a little bit of tech called reload canceling where you shorten the thermal clip, reload on a weapon. As you can see right there, I let the reload animation run at its normal length. If I had done that in the middle of combat, I would be severely limiting my DPS and potentially be leaving myself open to attack. However, you can shorten the reload by performing any action at the moment you see Shepard chamber the next round.
The Collector SMG?
It's a gun from the multiplayer, added back in the EGM mod.
Don't worry about the Collector SMG, Joe. Pay attention in class.
Sorry, Professor Trump.
One little note I'd like to add about the reload canceling. Specifically, you want to look for the ammo indicator to show the magazine has been replenished.
Yes, thank you, number 44. I will demonstrate a variation of the quick reload.
You missed your shot.
Okay, ignore that I missed the shot. Look how much faster the reload is.
The fact that you missed and quickly reloaded with the cancel underlines how important it is, especially on single-round guns like the M300 Claymore and M98 Widow.
Pretty much any gun with a longer reload benefits from it. This includes guns that fire more than one round like the Black Widow and the M76 Revenant.
That was a brave charge.
You gotta have some balls when playing Vanguard. Anyway, when I said any action earlier, I mean any. Sprinting using one of your abilities, entering or exiting cover are examples of things that cancel the reload animation.
It's really good on Infiltrator. You can cancel the reload by using Tactical Cloak.
Very true. Did you get all that, Sleepy Joe?
I guess so.
Hey, Donald, remember when I told you not to come into this with just the Claymore?
Yes, why? Oh, f***.
You see? That's what it feels like to run out of ammo in the middle of combat.
That fancy reload trick isn't worth a damn if you don't have any ammo.
Why are you running away, Donald? You're a Vanguard. If you don't have ammo, then become the ammo in charge.
I might be all about charging into danger, but even that would be insane. This isn't Marvel Rivals. I'm not about to suicide dive into a turret like I'm the average Wolverine player. Oh, f***, it's a turret.
Bro, we can't be charging into smoke like that.
I see the vision. You're about to get cooked this episode.
It was a minor error on my part. It's all a part of the Vanguard experience.
Me personally, I wouldn't have charged blindly into smoke and around a corner at that. You gotta be aware of the fact that the Cerberus turrets are a Vanguard's kryptonite.
The Cerberus combat engineers are my mortal enemies.
Thank God I didn't have to play my first episode against them.
I wouldn't be thanking God right now, Joe. You're going to get plenty of them in episode 4.
Don't worry, I'm ready for Grissom Academy.
Who in the hell is shooting me?
Oh, you're so cooked.
Man, the Cerberus Centurions are sneaky bastards.
Where the hell did that guy come from?
Can't say, but you gotta watch your flanks, Donald.
So Donald has officially done worse than I did in my first episode of 3.
You're also one death away from being tied up with me. I ended Mass Effect 2 with 12 and you're at 11, Donald.
Yeah, don't start throwing a party over such minor things. I'm fine.
So long as you don't die a third time on a side mission, I'll leave you be.
Well, I won't get screwed, Donald. You're worse at 3 than I am.
Congrats, I temporarily have more deaths than you in 3. Why don't we check the scores in Mass Effect 1 and 2 real quick?
Okay, I'll chill.
Oh, hell no, not again. You little son of a bitch.
Almost got folded again. Good job reacting to it, though.
All combat engineers will be exterminated on sight.
That's a bottom line I can get behind.
Jesus Christ, I forgot we were still trying to get the second Reaper artifact.
Okay, relax. This mission is taking a little longer than it should.
Well, Donald, screw-ups have granted me a little time to talk more about the planet we're on, Sanctum.
Yep, that's exactly what I intended.
Sanctum, while known for its freezing ice storms, also has a history with Cerberus, as they are involved with the planet's finances. The Alliance has tried urging companies to confront Cerberus, but the major stakeholders are refusing to act against the elusive man due to financial bickering.
Is that how Cerberus went from an Alliance Black Ops to a force capable of waging extended war against the galaxy on multiple fronts?
Probably there's that, and the fact that Donald claims to be a backer of Cerberus.
I regret nothing and will not apologize for anything.
Meanwhile, it looks like Cortez is out there having fun.
Yo, bro, where the f is my Uber at?
Imagine waiting for someone to pick you up and you see them blast by with 4 people trying to take them out.
I think someone just threw a grenade with 99% accuracy at you.
I saw it.
Ooh, be careful, Donald.
Damn, you killed that guy like he was a rabid animal.
Who the f does this guy think he is trying to press me?
I mean, you can't blame him after you let that Centurion catch you earlier.
Now you've got a Guardian on you.
Okay, I guess Liara's singularity just decided to not work. That shield ain't much if I just shoot you in the foot.
One last thing I wanted to add about this mission. If you've listened to some of the ambient dialogue on the Citadel, you'll recall an Alliance engineer named Talavi, who asks for a transfer to fight Reaper forces because she believes her brother has joined Cerberus. and she wants to avoid fighting him. During this mission, you'll find 2 personal logs written by someone named C. Talavi. In the first one, he'll talk about how the troops seem really intense, no one smiles, and he talks about how Cerberus has a suicide on capture orders.
You were close Donald at Cerberus, who has the suicide on capture orders.
The Shadow Broker definitely had it too.
Bro, is Cortez good? Maybe we should call in the Normandy.
He's fine in the second personal log. It seems Private Talavi's brother has fully succumbed to whatever Cerberus's integration process is. He writes, and I quote, "Integration successful. Suicide on capture orders confirmed Cerberus is my friend. Obey, protect humanity at any cost."
Cerberus's integration process sounds a whole lot like indoctrination.
Well, yeah, they are using Reaper tech.
I think Cerberus's whole deal is to brainwash people into following their cause. That's how they got otherwise good people like Kelly, after all. The Reaper tech is just additive.
We're kind of glossing over the fact that we've most likely killed Private Talavi's brother in this battle.
I mean, what do you want me to say? We've probably killed a bunch of people's brothers by this point.
Plus, it's better that we do it than have Talavi end up fighting her brother.
Speaking of fighting, Cortez has really taken his time fighting those Cerberus shuttles.
He's just giving you more time to enjoy your combat, Donald.
Or are you afraid that you'll end up dying again?
There are no Cerberus turrets or any sneaky-ass Centurions. I'm not going to die again. You're getting a little cocky, Joe.
Careful, Joe. You got overconfident a few times in 2, and it backfired on you.
My expectations are perfectly realistic. I'm just clowning Donald for fun.
Well, don't start crying when I come after you after the inevitable events of Grissom Academy.
It feels like we're letting Barry off easy here.
True, I'll be watching you next episode, Barack.
I'll probably do as I usually do, either clear the episode without dying or die 3 times.
Holy shit.
I'm not even gonna lie, that wasn't deliberate. But it was nice seeing that one's head pop like a melon.
A point-blank headshot from the Claymore is absolutely disgusting.
Imagine if he died on literally his first mission out with Shepard.
We'd get to yell Steve a lot earlier than usual.
Last stretch, Donald. Try not to get folded again.
Get me off this mission. Goddamn, I love the sound and the feel of the Claymore. That was what your gameplay was missing last episode, Joe.
My gameplay wouldn't have worked carrying a heavy-ass gun like that. Let me play my Caster Vanguard in peace.
There's a combat engineer on the field.
Well, not for long, there isn't.
Gotta admit, it would have been nice if we were playing engineer so we could hack the turrets.
Funniest thing in the gameplay, hacking the turret, watching it turn around and look at the combat engineer, and then watching him get completely throttled at point-blank range.
Wow, another engineer. They're really trying to stop you.
And now I know exactly what I need to do to deal with them.
That's nice and all, Joe, but remember sometimes the turrets are set up preemptively before you can get to the combat zone.
Well, I'm not dumb enough to go charging around a corner.
I'll remember you said that when you inevitably make an error.
I feel like Cortez is stalling.
He's definitely only getting 3 stars at most on his review.
That's the 3rd engineer to appear here. Time to wrap it up.
I see you frantically checking your flanks this time, Donald.
I am not trying to get ganked again. That throw was dangerously close.
We should be grateful the enemies that can use grenades aren't able to cook them for a second, so they go off as they land.
About damn time, Cortez.
Good thing this wasn't DoorDash, or our food would be ice cold by now.
Considering he was fighting 4 Cerberus shuttles, the Kodiak looks like it's in good shape.
Commander, we've got our best engineers looking at the Reaper tech you secured from that lab.
Speaking of which, indoctrination is just not a concern when dealing with Reaper tech anymore.
They came up with some sort of containment field to block indoctrination. I don't know how exactly, but whatever.
I doubt they'll just close up shop.
Agreed. We'll keep sending strikes against the facility.
Now it's finally time for us to save the Turians.
Well, damn, looks like the Turians are putting up a better fight than humanity is.
Oh no, the hell they aren't.
I mean, the space around Palaven isn't littered with space debris yet, so things look good.
There is some truth in what Joe is saying, and one look at the Codex will tell you that. The Batarians' defeat is called the Fall of Kar-Shan, and humanity's is called the Fall of Earth. The Turians, on the other hand, haven't been defeated yet, which is why the Codex calls this the Battle of Palaven, implying that the Turians are managing to put up a fight. The additional entries in the Codex back this up, but now isn't the time to get into it.
Call it a battle all you want. We just watched one of their dreadnoughts or frigates, whatever the ship was, get completely crunched by one of the Reapers.
Also, there were like really massive explosions occurring all over that side of Palaven we just saw.
And the moon isn't doing much better.
No. No. Palaven.
We have an old friend there.
Wait, who are they talking about?
Garrus, he went back to Palaven after the events of 2.
You know, for some reason, I never put that together.
I think it's because they're kind of implying that Garrus could be dead, which obviously no one would ever believe.
Shepard. I'm so sorry.
Well, don't worry, Thessia is next on the list.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
I didn't tell a lie.
You know, isn't it kind of odd that the Reapers rushed the Batarians, humans, and Turians first and left the most advanced and wealthy species for later?
Well, the Batarians were just unlucky. The Reapers showed up in their space first and probably just felt like blowing them up, which is probably the most valid thing the Reapers have done in their eons of existence.
Let me off this damn shuttle. It's time to spill some blood.
I don't think he's listening, Barry.
I'm going to keep yapping anyway. The Reapers naturally went for humanity first because of Shepard's actions. And the Reapers definitely know that the Turians have the biggest and best fighting force in the galaxy and need them out the way.
That makes sense. Funny enough, the 2 oldest council species end up being saved for last.
It's probably because the Asari and Salarians specialize in more covert operations. Instead of getting into head-to-head fights like the humans and Turians, you can't exactly espionage your way past the Reapers, so the Asari and Salarians don't register as major threats.
Thank you. You boys have fun killing husks up there.
That was nice of you, Donald.
Of course, we fought together. That makes us brothers, even if they're aliens.
What are you looking for, Donald?
I'm looking for more mod shenanigans. I'm not getting caught off guard again.
I'll let you know when it matters, Donald. Keep it moving.
If you say so, but I've got my eye out.
Anything we should know about the Reaper War, Barry?
I suppose I can start with the fall of Tatris first. The Reapers' first attack on Turian space was very deliberate. They wanted to hit the Turians where it hurts, which is why they targeted the Turian colony of Tatris, a populous colony with centuries of history. This colony stands out because Tatris was the site of the worst terrorist attack in Turian history, where a separatist revolutionary slammed a starship into the colony's capital, killing more than 100,000 Turians.
Well, how about that? The Turians also had a they hit the Pentagon moment.
Never forget Tatris.
The Turians managed to stamp out the separatist movement, turning Tatris into a beacon indicating that heroes would triumph over evil. And with that in mind, the Reapers decided to strike there first to deliver a mental blow.
Damn, who knew Reapers could play psychology games?
They indoctrinate people, Joe. Of course, they play with people's emotions.
The Turians knew that the Batarians and humans were under attack by the time Tatris went dark. The Turian hierarchy responded with overwhelming force, but unfortunately they wandered into a trap. The Reapers were waiting on the other side of the mass relay to Tatris and began laying waste to the Turians in a one-sided battle. The Turian leaders decided to continue the assault on the Reapers because people were clamoring for revenge. The Turians sent warp bombs through the relay and fought to the bitter end, but their efforts were doomed from the start. The Reapers emerged victorious and began broadcasting images of Valum Tatris' capital, once again a smoking wreck, thus beginning the fight for Turian space.
Damn, they really went all out trying to break the Turians.
Sounds like a Pearl Harbor moment. Except I don't think the Turians are going to get to spin back for that.
They will eventually, but we're a good way away from that. For now, we've got this situation on the moon to deal with.
That's not the end of the Turians' fight, though.
Nope. We'll discuss the desperate measures the Turians resort to in just a bit.
Domestic, get your men up on that north barricade.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Bartis, find a way to get that comm tower operational.
The Turians here have interesting names.
I can't speak on the other two, but General Corinthus' name is likely inspired by Greek mythology. Corinthus was the founder of the city called Corinth, and was apparently a son of Zeus.
The silence is loud here.
Primarch Fedorian is dead.
Well,
the shuttle was shot down an hour ago as it tried to leave the moon.
That's gonna complicate things.
That's an understatement.
Considering there are literally Reapers walking around on this moon, and we haven't been lasered to death yet, things aren't too bad.
We set up camps on this moon as an advanced position to flank the enemy. A sound strategy. Just
irrelevant.
Exactly. The sheer force of the Reapers seems to make them immune to that sort of tactic.
Yeah, I'd imagine flanking a Reaper would be a whole lot like that scene when Tony punched Hulk in the Hulkbuster suit in Age of Ultron.
It's interesting that they refer to Primarch Fedorian as if he was the only one in his position. There are multiple Primarchs according to the Codex, each rule over a cluster of colonies.
Well, to be fair, Barry, the way things are going right now, he probably was the only Primarch left.
With such heavy casualties, it's hard for me to be certain who the next Primarch is.
True enough, as Corinthus just said, the succession line is probably all types of f***ed up right now.
Contacting them is impossible. The comm tower is out. Husks are swarming that area. We can't get close enough to repair it.
It's just Husks get out there and deal with
them.
them.
Moon until I know where the new Primarch is. I'll fix your tower.
Another day, another time, Shepard has to do the job of entire platoons of soldiers.
Well, if I get to kill some more Reapers, it's fine with me if they can't handle it.
In complete fairness, the Turians here have probably been locked in combat for days now, with their numbers slowly whittling down. Eventually, they're going to fall to exhaustion.
They might, but not me, though.
The mental toll is probably getting to the Turians, too. The fall of Tatris aside, you can only watch all your friends get smoked by Reaper's laser so many times before it breaks you and ruins your ability to fight.
Husks at the tower overwhelmed us. Like they come out of nowhere. Good luck.
You boys take it easy. I'll take care of things from here.
Once again, to be fair to the Turians here, Husks in Mass Effect 3 are more fierce than they were in 2, especially when they start to swarm.
The biotic Turian we saw back there should have been out here throwing down Novas. Then the Turians would have been fine.
Beautiful cryo combo, Donald.
I might prefer the pyro combos, but even I'll admit the cryo ones sound cooler.
If we had Caden around, we'd be able to do them all the time.
Joe, stop trying to sell me on Caden. I'm enjoying killing Reapers. James, why did I have to run all the way over to save you?
Bro is not built for the N7 program.
We can't repair it from this panel.
Actually, Barry, I have a question.
What is it, Joe?
I noticed that none of the Turians are wearing helmets. How are they breathing?
Isn't it just because helmets are set to off in cutscenes?
That doesn't explain why the Turians we passed earlier had them off too. That wasn't a cutscene.
I can explain this, well, kind of. A lot of the information on Menne is classified because the Turians didn't want the Krogan weaponizing the moon by smashing it into Palavan during the rebellion. However, some of the information that is leaked, including images of Turians walking around without environment suits, suggests the existence of a network of subterranean tunnels with powerful mass effect field generators that retain heat and provide an atmosphere over parts of the moon's surface. And on the note of the Reaper presence here, they are focused on bombarding the bases. The Turians are putting up a fierce resistance, though. The Reaper's victory has been stalled, forcing them to deploy the ground troops we've been fighting to take the bases one at a time.
The Turians actually stalling the Reapers is pretty impressive.
All right, fine, I'll admit it. The Turians are actually putting up a better fight than humanity.
Wow, it must be a cold day in hell.
But they still needed Shepard to show up and save the day. So while the Turians are doing better than humanity, Shepard is above the entire species of the Turians.
If that's what it takes for you to finally put some respect on the Turians, then I'll take what I can get done.
James, are you over here struggling with a husk again?
He even has Liara trying to help him, too.
All that bulk on his body ain't worth a damn, it seems.
Commander Shepard, come in.
Go ahead.
I have information from Palavan Command. Please return ASAP.
Do I have to? I was having fun over here.
There will be plenty more Reapers for you to kill, Donald.
Man, thank God that Reaper isn't coming this way.
I guess the Turians are keeping the rest of the Reaper fleet busy in the skies above Palavan.
What have you got?
As your partner said, succession is usually simple. But right now, the hierarchy's in chaos. So many dead or MIA.
Well, at this point in the Reaper War, anyone who's missing in action may as well be dead.
The Turian resources we need.
I'm on it, Shepard. We'll find you the Primarch.
Garrus.
Surely no one really believed Garrus wouldn't make it off Palavan.
Damn, Garrus has moved up in the world.
From a cop to a Spectre candidate to a vigilante on Omega, what kind of fucked up journey has this dude had?
Just the average midlife crisis, that's all. Also on that note, for once the default state of Mass Effect 3 doesn't completely screw you. If you don't import a save to 3, Garrus will still be alive and join us here.
So what happens here if Garrus is dead?
Unlike with most of the other squad mates, where an NPC character fills their role, no one shows up to act in place of Garrus. Rather, Liara just adopts all of the lines Garrus would have had during the mission.
I guess they decided Garrus is irreplaceable.
There is no Shepard without Vicarian, and shame on you if you let him die in 2.
You said Liara adopts Garrus's lines. What about when she has to go back to check on the Normandy in a little bit?
If Garrus is dead, she just stays with Shepard and James, which doesn't really make any difference.
Lifelong military, gets results, popular with his troops. Not so popular with military command. has a reputation for playing loose with accepted
He
strategy.
can't be more unhinged than Shepard. We blew up a goddamn mass relay.
We also unleashed a nuke on Vermeer.
We really enjoy blowing things up around here.
Is this the same event that you mentioned before?
Yeah, the war on Tatris took place in 2185. It's a long and complicated affair that is covered in Cerberus Daily News. As much as I'd like to, I can't spare the time to yap about it here.
Thank God.
Oh, don't worry, we're going back to the Reaper War soon.
Bold strategy, but wild behavior doesn't get you advanced up the meritocracy.
Does it really matter if you get the job done?
It does if you're a Turian. You know how Joker says Garrus has a broom up his ass? That goes double for the average Turian.
Garrus's whole deal with his father was that he didn't want to do things by procedure, after all.
Reminds me of an old human Spectre I knew.
What the hell does he mean, old?
Shepard is like barely even 30.
Shepard is 29 at the beginning of the story, making them chronologically 32 in Mass Effect 3, but biologically around 30 considering they spent a couple years dead.
Then why is Garrus talking to us like we're a grizzled war vet?
In fairness, half the we've gone through, Shepard might as well be old.
At this rate, Bard Joe Shepard is going to end up aging like Admiral Hackett.
You were the one that aged him up in the character customization. Our Shepard has been ravaged by time from the beginning of things.
Well, the Mindor raid probably took their toll.
Yeah, but we got separated. He went to bolster a flank that was breaking. Could be anywhere out there.
We're trying to raise him, Commander.
Incoming harvester, headed for the airfield.
We got a worm neck inbound.
I'm surprised we don't end up fighting that thing here.
It probably changed its mind when it realized Garrus was here to solo it.
General, tell Primarch Victus we'll rendezvous here. In the meantime, let's go take care of whatever that thing dropped off. Coming, Garrus?
Are you kidding? I'm right behind you.
Good to have you back, Birdman.
Donald, that's the third time in a row you've been kind to Turians.
Listen, as long as they can point their guns at the Reapers and not at humans, I can be cool about things. We got a war to fight.
I guess that's a bottom line anyone can respect.
Speaking of war, let's continue on with the Reaper one. Following the fall of Tatris, the Turians realized they were faced with utter annihilation, which left their military strategists considering extreme solutions to stop the Reapers at any cost. They came up with two options: the destruction of the mass relays and the use of starships as suicide weapons.
Great minds think alike, it seems.
Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sure destroying the mass relays wouldn't work.
You're right, Joe, and the Turian strategists came to the same conclusion. Never mind the fact that it would take too long to evacuate millions or billions of people living near relays. No one wants to sacrifice that many lives.
Even if they did, it's not like the Reapers can't just, keep flying around to each system. They came out of dark space when the Citadel relay failed.
Yup, traveling within the galaxy would not be an insurmountable barrier for a race of robots either, just a matter of time. The Turians also concluded that starships would be too costly to use as projectiles since it would take too many of them to harm a Reaper.
They must have gotten that idea from the Tatris separatists.
Some, quote, armchair admirals suggested that a single starship traveling faster than light could obliterate a Reaper capital ship. But all ships based on Mass Effect technology are hardwired with safety features to prevent FTL collisions. And the safety feature is inherent to the FTL warm-up process, and removing it is basically impossible. One last thing of note on this topic. Intelligence analysts note that the secret of Mass Effect technology, including that safety feature, has always been attributed to the Protheans, just as the mass relays were, implying that the Reapers may have been the ones to create it.
So either the Reapers predicted someone would try to ram a ship into them at FTL speeds, or a previous cycle did do that, and the Reapers created the safety feature to keep it from happening again.
I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the latter. They probably lost one of their ships that way and said it wasn't happening again.
If the Reapers breach it, we're done.
On my way.
It's time to carry this group one last time.
And while you're doing that, I'll finish things off with the Battle of Palaven, which we're currently in the middle of.
All right, this one I'm ready for.
The Reapers' plan to unsettle the Turians by attacking Tatris failed. They remained calm and massed in force around Palaven. Fleet Admiral Irix Coronati came up with something known as the 15-minute plan, where two carriers were stationed near the Trebius system's mass relay. When the Reapers emerged, the carriers launched swarms of unmanned fighters and spy drones that were quickly destroyed. But the drones transmitted vital data on the Reapers' effective range, fleet composition, and exact location. With all this newly acquired data, the Turians were ready to deploy their other ships to defend the system in earnest. Knowing the Reapers had longer effective range than any of his own ships, Admiral Coronati made a short FTL jump landing his dreadnoughts in the middle of the Reaper fleet. The dreadnoughts turned to line up their main guns on the Reapers, who also needed to turn to fire on the Turians. Because the Turian dreadnoughts were smaller and could turn faster, They locked targets first, and their concentrated firepower brought down several Reaper capital ships.
Hold on, why aren't the enemies spawning?
There's a husk way out in the distance.
Good looking out, Joe. Anyway, quick question, Barack. Didn't it take the entire Citadel and Arcturus fleet just to take down Sovereign? How in the hell are the Turians wiping, as you say, several capital ships?
Didn't the Batarians also clear several destroyer-class Reapers too? They nerfed the hell out of the Reapers.
Well, in the case of the destroyers, they're noticeably less powerful. It's noted that even a cruiser could take out a destroyer-class Reaper. As for the capital ships, I'll agree it's crazy that the Turians wiped out several of them in the opening act to the Battle of Palaven. But I guess you could just say all those dreadnoughts had the Phanex cannon as their main gun. Carrying on, though, the Reapers didn't let that slide. Their destroyers performed an FTL jump of their own to the skies above Palaven and began orbital strikes on Turian cities. The Turians were forced to return to defend the planet, which allowed the Reapers to start flooding into the system from the mass relay. After massive casualties, a retreat was ordered.
Sounds like they're on the verge of getting cooked to me.
The Turians claim Palaven isn't lost yet, and that the battle has merely moved to the ground. Reaper troop transports have dumped hordes of husks to capture Palaven inhabitants. The Reapers have met little success on this front, though. Remember, every Turian serves in the military from age 15, so this isn't going to go down like it did on Earth. The Reapers are dealing with billions of trained and armed civilians. Even as the Reaper capital ships are destroying city after city, the Turians refuse to be intimidated. Much of the fleet is still operational, and the citizens are ready to fight. That's as far as things get for now. We'll return to the Turians' battle against the Reapers during the miracle at Palaven.
That was a lot less somber than it was for humanity and Earth.
Well, that's what happens when you're the galaxy's police force and literally control the amount of dreadnoughts every other species can have, guaranteeing that you have the most.
I'm starting to think the Protheans invested in the wrong species. They should have put their stocks into the Turians. Maybe things would be going better.
Well, hold on a second. I don't know about that. Then we'd be under Turian rule.
For the purposes of the Reaper War, that might be a good thing. Imagine if everyone in the galaxy was military trained.
Well, if what Javik tells us is accurate, the unified doctrine of the Protheans is what contributed to their downfall. So it's probably a good thing the Turians, or any one species, doesn't rule the entire galaxy.
What exactly are the brutes supposed to be?
They're derived from Krogan and Turians, which is evident by the size of their bodies and the shape of their heads.
I guess the Marauders weren't enough. They really wanted to fit the Turians in somewhere else.
Donald, I think you might want to dodge.
What the hell is the range on that thing?
It caught Garrus, too. You might want to give it some space.
Okay, charging into it is crazy.
Donald, in case you've forgotten, the brutes and other big enemies like it can instantly kill you.
I know, exciting, isn't it? We can trade blows back to back.
Keep f***ing around and it's going to break your back instead.
Please, it didn't even come close to killing me.
You're lucky the mods granted you access to a leveled up Claymore way earlier than we're meant to have it.
Any other enemies for me to kill on your behalf, General?
Still can't get a stable comm link.
Okay, I'm going on foot.
It's a good thing Victus is in walking distance and not, you know, on the complete other side of the moon or something.
Or worse, dead. Victus could have been lasered at any moment during this walk.
What a time to not have the Mako.
How far?
Should be pretty quick, unless we find trouble.
Well, I mean, look around Garrus, there's trouble everywhere.
I'm sure someone with an attentive eye has noticed, but the anti-aircraft guns you've been hearing and seeing come from the diversification mod.
God damn it, I knew those things weren't there in the base game, but I wasn't sure.
They're meant to represent Garrus's preparation for the Reaper invasion with the task force he's given. They're only present if he survived too.
What happens if he died? Nothing?
If Garrus is dead, the mod adds harvesters into the skies above Menai.
Damn it. Look at Palaven. That blaze of orange. The big...
That's a pretty massive blaze.
Yeah, whatever the Reapers did there has to be unbelievably destructive.
Family there?
My dad. A sister.
There's a bit of sadness in what Garrus just said there.
You mean besides the fact that his hometown probably looks worse than Mindor, and the fact that millions are dying a day? I wouldn't call that a bit of sadness if I'm being honest.
Okay, you got me there, Donald, but I was going to mention something else.
Well, let's hear it, Barry. It can't possibly get worse.
In the Shadow Broker dossier, it's revealed in a chat transcript between Garrus and his sister, Solana, that their mom is ill and that the last batch of treatments haven't gone well. Solana suggests trying an off-world center, but it's not covered. Garrus suggests paying for his mother's treatments, though his sister shuts him down because he won't come home. And for the record, this is literally right before the suicide mission begins. I digress. In a private message, we learn Garrus, with Morden's help, has sent collector tissue to the Helos Medical Institute, a Solarian facility. In the message, it's revealed Garrus's mother's condition is called Corpalis syndrome, a neurological degeneration illness which is nearly impossible to halt. Thanks to Morden's calls to the Special Tasks Group, the Medical Institute has the clearance to waive fees for members of the test trials to treat the disease. This is clearly a Hail Mary attempt from Garrus to save his mother's life.
Well, did it work?
Joe, goddammit, when James asked if Garrus had any family on Palavan, he only mentioned his dad in Solana. Do the math.
Oh, damn, now I'm really sad.
We got people dying left and right all over the place.
Yeah, but this is more personal. That's Garrus's mom.
I'm not sure what's sadder, the possibility that Garrus's mom succumbed to her disease, or that she lived just long enough to be killed in the Reaper invasion.
If it's any consolation, we can add Garrus to the group of squad mates who have dead moms.
Jesus fucking Christ, Donald. What is wrong with you?
Look, this is like the second or first saddest thing we've talked about in all these videos, and I'm trying to salvage the mood.
I appreciate your efforts, Donald. Though funny enough, Shepard is one of the few major characters to not have a dead mom if you pick the Spacer origin.
Okay, good luck. Yes, sir.
You guys try to stay alive. Unlike Garrus's mom.
Oh my God.
Okay, bro, you're pushing it.
Oh, come on, it's not like he can hear me.
Now, I heard you, Lil, bro. Next time it'll be someone who doesn't miss.
What the f was that?
Oh, okay, very funny, Barack. You used the AI squad mates.
Donald, that wasn't me.
The f you mean that wasn't you?
Exactly what I said. That wasn't me.
Oh, so you think you're slick, Joe?
Oh no, don't look at me. Barry doesn't let me use the AI voices anymore after that bit in episode 2 of Mass Effect 1.
So who the hell was that talking just now?
I mean, could it have been?
Nah, no way, couldn't be.
I think I'm just going to watch what I say a little more carefully.
Damn it. Crash like that, it's not surprising.
Well, rest in peace to whoever was piloting that fighter.
I feel like you'd be better off fighting harvesters on the ground instead of using a fighter.
Considering Garrus can solo one with the N7 Typhoon and proper leveling, yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
Summit will work.
If I didn't know this was a video game, I'd tell you no, James.
Where's the Krogan and Batarians? Where's the meat?
What the hell does he want the Batarians around for?
The Batarians took the first hit when the Reapers arrived. Not much left of them.
Good riddance.
And the Krogan have never forgiven us for the genophage.
I appreciate the crash course on Mass Effect history.
They most likely did this because they knew a lot of people would be starting the Mass Effect trilogy on 3 when it came out.
Too bad. I fought with a Krogan. They're tough sons of bitches.
Still crazy James fought a Krogan and lived.
Well, he had a squad with him, and he probably would have died if one of his buddies didn't snipe the Krogan that was about to crush his throat.
Well, funny of him to leave that part out.
You'd leave it out too if you thought it would impress one of your beautiful blue beauties.
You're goddamn right I would.
Well, as shameless as you are, at least you're honest about it.
Now your last chance to impress everyone with your combat is coming up.
Finally, if the Turians are only good for one thing, it's giving me a good fight.
Double time. No Reaper's taking this Primarch from me.
If Victus dies here, we're just pulling a random Turian off the battlefield and making them Primarch.
Hell yeah, I'm going in, baby.
You're going to want to be more careful here, Donald.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
Where's that cannibal going?
I think he was going to eat the remains of his dead buddy.
Damn that cannibal. Just like me, I'm feeling a little famished and I could use a bite.
Look out, grenade.
You've got a good eye on you today, Joe.
I'm surprised you saw that. I barely caught it and was about to let Donald get blown up.
Gee, thanks, Barack.
I don't know why Joe is warning you.
I don't want Donald to rack up too many deaths. Things will get too easy for me.
What the hell are you on about? Talking about some, it'll be too easy for me. You have 20 deaths.
Yeah, but I already see the vision. You'll be where I'm at soon enough.
Barack, what level of delusion is this man operating on right now?
I've got no clue. Bro is moving different for some reason.
That's what I like to see. Victus saw Shepard pulling up and knew this fight was over.
Right away.
Donald, you're not doing anything with the Claymore from that far away.
You're right, I don't know what's come over me. Ain't no way it just hit me through the cover.
I see you're not willing to let that slide.
God, I hope it grabs you and snaps you in half.
There's 2 of them.
The more the merrier. Oh yeah, you want to charge? I'll show you a charge, you big bastard.
Right away.
You're cooked.
You didn't reload before trying to go charge for charge, Donald.
I'm not dead yet, you bastards.
Literally 1 hit.
You're getting really lucky here.
Why the f would you Nova again?
Oh,
yeah, you're done, bro. Damn, you know Victus has to be disappointed seeing reinforcements show up just for them to get bodied.
Well, look at how things have shaped out for Donald in Mass Effect 3 on Vanguard.
Shut the hell up, Joe.
I'd like to apologize for what I said earlier, Joe. You're not so delusional after all.
Listen, that's all a part of the Vanguard lifestyle.
I know a thing or two about playing Vanguard, and that is definitely not how you handle that bit of combat.
All right, just watch and learn. I'll show you how it's really done.
Victus is telling his men to try harder because he knows Donald definitely doesn't have it.
As soon as I can charge onto this damn marauder, I'll show you who has it.
That's the wrong side of cover.
Oh, God fucking damn it.
Wow, Donald, this is getting kind of sad. Couldn't be me, though.
Hey, Donald, I don't want to alarm you, but you're 1 death away from matching Joe's 5 deaths in 1 episode record.
Shut up, Barack.
Also, Barry is back in the lead now that you have. What is it? 13 deaths.
This definitely has to be your worst episode of the entire series thus far.
Maybe we should have stuck to Sentinel. That would have been easier for poor old Donald here.
I'm not taking this level of disrespect, not from either of you.
Then do something about it.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Give it everything you've got!
Oh, all of a sudden, Donald is moving like he wants to win.
I am not washed. Do you hear me? I'm the 47th president.
I'm starting to wonder if being the president while you game is a debuff.
Well, and you're still the president, even if you're a lame duck now.
Yes, but being the president-elect must transfer the debuff.
Being the president isn't why you were ass at the game, Joe.
I see you playing a lot safer now, Donald.
Yeah, he's scared he's going to die again.
The only one who should be scared is this brute.
Are you sure about that?
I'm perfectly fine.
Been a brutal fight for these guys.
But the tide's turning.
Turn up the heat!
You're near the end, Donald. Try not to sell this.
There, it's fucking over.
Now you have 1 more enemy left somewhere.
There he is. I see his ass.
Congrats, Donald. It only took 2 times and on the 2nd main story mission in the game.
Joe, you better hope to God you don't get completely fucking demolished
General
on
Victor.
Grissom Academy. Because the things I'll say to you if you do will be relentless.
I'm Commander Shepard of the Normandy.
Commander, I know who you are. I can't wait to find out what brings you out here.
I'm just killing Reapers, General. You know, fun things.
I'm pretty sure Victus saw you die twice. Better be glad he's not bringing that up.
Get that thing the hell off my men.
Appreciate it.
Damn, Garrus is so good he can be sent off to get heavy Reaper units
General,
off people.
You're needed off planet. I've come to get you.
It will take something beyond important for me to leave my men or my Turian brothers and sisters in their fight.
Fedorian was killed. You're the new Primarch.
You're needed immediately to chair a summit and represent your people in the fight against the Reapers.
From one newly elected leader to another. Congratulations.
I don't think you and Victus have comparable situations, Donald.
This is what it felt like taking over after Donald's first term.
What the hell are you on about?
Hey, I'm just saying 2020 was a shitty year for everyone.
Negotiating for the Turian hierarchy.
Yeah, I know this isn't an ideal situation you're walking into, Victus, but take it from us. It's only going to get worse from here.
I've spent my whole life in the military. I'm no diplomat. I hate diplomats.
Man, everyone in Mass Effect sure has a hate boner for politicians.
They just like me.
Donald, for the last time, you are about to be the president for the 2nd time.
Really
You are a politician.
Kind of guy, and I piss people off. My family's been military since the Unification War.
Hey, Barry, what's the Unification War?
What am I, a search engine?
You may as well be. Now tell us what the Unification War is before I start spreading misinformation about the Mass Effect franchise using AI search results.
Fine, the Turian Unification War was a civil war between the colonies furthest from Palaven. These colonies were ran by local chieftains who distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Under their rule, the colonies became more isolated and xenophobic. The colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and hostile encounters were common. When war finally broke out, the hierarchy refused to get involved, and after several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained, and that was when the hierarchy finally intervened. By that time, the chieftains were too weak to resist, and were forced to put an end to the conflict and renew their allegiance to the hierarchy. This is the origin of the facial markings the Turians have.
Thank you for that one final Lord Dump, Barry.
I'm guessing that's also where Victus got his plan to deal with the Separatists on Tatris.
Vigilante, and I'm their expert advisor? Think you can win this thing, Shepard?
You better believe we can win this thing.
I don't know, Garrus. But I'm sure as hell gonna give it my best shot.
I'm damn sure nobody else can do it. For whatever it's worth, I'm with you.
Garrus really is a ride or die.
I'm not saying this because I don't want him around, but aren't his skills better used, you know, defending this moon?
There's some truth in that. We're taking Victus away, who seems to be the head general here.
One thing.
Taking Garrus, another formidable leader, who's capable of holding a defensive line, seems like a poor choice strategically.
Yeah, but there is no Shepard without Vicarian. I need God Mode Garrus for Grissom Academy.
That's a pretty tall order.
We need the Krogan.
Finally, someone with a brain. Let's get Rex and Grunt in here.
The idea that we'd fight this war without the giant space dinosaurs that love to kill things is crazy.
Looks like your summit just got a lot more interesting.
I apologize for being so frank, Commander, but your plan feels doomed to failure.
And now it's time for the Asari to begin their game-long throwing session.
But Madam Counselor, let me...
I'm not the only one that feels this way. The Solarian Dalatras is livid.
The Solarian Dalatras is a dumbass too.
Time to let go.
Perhaps. Still, we can't help but feel that this summit is a waste of your time, and we can't afford to have it waste ours.
For the love of God, offer an alternative solution. It's either do this or we all die.
Man, I'm with Barry on this one. The Protheans invested in the wrong species. Maybe not the Turians, but they definitely needed to put their chips down on a less passive alien race.
Commander, and goodbye.
This is a massive L by the Asari here, and it's going to totally backfire on them.
All right, let's round things out by talking to Admiral Hackett. We're supposed to check in with him, after all.
The Primarch for your summit.
Yes, sir. But the Asari are staying on the sidelines.
They'll regret that.
Yes, they will.
The time for unity is now.
The Solarians will be there, though.
You don't sound very optimistic.
We expect the Krogan will be joining us, too.
It's a good thing we're friends with Rex.
Well, then you've got your hands full, Commander. Was there something else you needed to discuss?
Have you pieced together how the Reapers hit Earth?
It wasn't all that complicated, really. They surged through the relays and hit Arcturus station before we knew what was happening.
See, if we had as much prep time as the Turians did, we would have done just as good.
That's debatable.
Stand a chance.
Sending us to the Mars archives was a good call.
Still doesn't make up for the fact that the Reapers nailed us to the wall.
Not a whole lot you could have done, Hackett.
Entire second fleet to provide cover for the third and the fifth to retreat. Hell, I presided over the most devastating military defeat in human history.
Is that actually true, Barack?
Bro, my knowledge starts and stops at Mass Effect. I don't know what the actual deadliest defeat in real life is.
You the tip of the spear.
I'm flattered, but the Normandy's just one ship.
And a fast one. You can move quickly, hit a target, and leave before the enemy has time to react.
Admiral Hackett's faith in us is unshakable.
That's just Hackett acknowledging our plot armor.
It's an advantage, but can it win a war?
It's the larger principle that matters. We'll never defeat the Reapers in a full frontal assault, Shepard. The battle against Sovereign 3 years ago took everything we had, and that was just one Reaper.
And yet the Turians were able to clap several Reapers that are of the same class as Sovereign.
Yeah, the Codex entry kind of conflicts with how unstoppable Reapers are supposed to be, but it's worth remembering the Turians still had to retreat.
How long can we keep that up?
As long as it takes. The reality is, Shepard, everything I'm doing is a delaying action for you. I'm buying us time, keeping us in the game while you gather what we need for this Prothean device. So keep at it.
The Reapers are really doing a bad job at locking down the galaxy if Hackett is still able to get resources for his fleet.
They probably just don't care. After all, the harvest is inevitable.
Of some sort. A big one. Beyond that, we really can't say, other than it's going to be a hell of a thing to try and build.
Do you think it's risky, building something like this when we don't even know what it does?
To be honest, the thing scares the hell out of me. But the Reapers have forced our hand. 2 centuries ago, scientists faced the same problem in the Second World War. They weren't sure what the atomic bomb might do. Some thought it could even ignite Earth's atmosphere, but they did it anyway.
Wait, seriously?
They literally thought the nukes would ignite the atmosphere and kill everyone, and still decided to make them.
They tested those things out in New Mexico and Arizona. They could have cooked us all.
Hitting the archives on Mars suggests they're after the same thing we are. A way to defeat the Reapers.
It didn't seem as if the Elusive Man was suggesting we appease them. Not like Saren did. You'd think we'd be on the same side, now more than ever.
I wonder how much smoother things would be going if the Elusive Man just worked with Shepard and the rest of the galaxy to destroy the Reapers.
Well, assuming Cerberus doesn't start implanting their troops with Reaper tech, their intelligence gathering skills would be
The
invaluable.
man talked about controlling the Reapers. He seemed to think that's how we win this.
He's wrong. Dead Reapers are how we win this.
That's what I like to
Doesn't mean he
fucking
won't
hear.
try.
I saw your report on that Cerberus soldier you found on Mars. If the elusive man is good at one thing, it's finding new ways to subvert science. It's never worked for him before, and it won't now.
All right, see you later, Hackett.
And just like that, we're at the end of a fire episode.
And poor Donald went and died 4 times. He's 4 times as bad at the game as I am.
Yeah, all right, bro. I'm gonna be watching you like a hawk in episode 4.
Well before the episode you've all been waiting for. We have to get through my first episode of 3, where I'll take us through our first proper visit to the Citadel and Priority Eden Prime. But until then, you know the drill. Stay safe out there, get plenty of sleep, drink some water, and we'll catch you on the next one.